Hi, welcome to our Homestead series. We hope this will be of enjoyment and informative. We don't know everything, we don't do everything perfect, but what we do know works for us. In these economic times, people have been talking about a back to the land movement or getting back to a more simple way of life. The transformation from the comforts of city dwelling and our modern way can be a little different going back to the homestead. I won't say complicated, but there are some things some people should know. So I hope you enjoy this series.
Well, of course, it has to be a windy day today, so I hope you can hear this. But this was where our red potatoes were, and we've dug all them up. And basically, what I want to do is do a video for you and show you how we get that down there, all dug up, bagged, and it'll look like this. One of the things I like to do that I haven't heard many people doing is I actually mow it. And I had a potato farmer, a guy telling me last year actually that he was having a heck of a time with his digger because it kept getting all the trash in it from the all the stalks and everything from the potatoes. And I just said, well, I usually mow mine and then I don't have that problem. And he looked at me, I never thought of that. And so anyways, I think he's doing it this year. But that's what I do, and that makes it nice and easy. As you can see, there's hardly any trash in this garden. And it also makes it a lot nicer to put it back into the soil, and easier to tell to do is go get the lawn tractor, which I've fixed several times this year. I'm looking forward to when I fix it for the last time. Take it to the dump. The most organized shop of all. As I'm moving one shop into this one. Boards. I don't think there's any bees in here. Stung. Yeah, it'd be kind of a chore digging through all this trash. Lots of it's still there, and I was going to leave these as long as possible, but you know, you don't want to wait too long, because then you get the frost and get other problems. And under this mess, buried, is my redneck potato hiller. I'll put the link in the sidebar. Sorry, I got this in there. Put the link in the sidebar for that if you want to watch how my potato hiller. My redneck potato hiller. Just basically a V shape with a hinge on it and some handles. And as you pull it along in the soil, it basically, after you've done the tilling between the rows, just pushes the soil up. And that's how I made all the hills in there. lot nicer to dig them up, and you can see them. Unfortunately, some of them have popped out of the ground. They're a little green, but that's not that bad of a deal for us. We'll use those as seed. So there you go. And yeah, I'll have this cleaned up in no time. I just had an idea while I was doing this. You know, a redneck potato harvester. I got that old snowblower in there. I wondered if that thing would dig up these things and throw them out on the property. I'll have to check that out. See if that'll... There you go. That'll be a lot nicer to work with. A little bit more trashy than the garden up at the top. This one tends to get a little weedy. But what I'm surprised is how much they're popping into the ground in this garden and not in the other one. So we'll have to get on this. A lot of hand digging, and of course it puts all this stuff nicely back into the garden. And a lot of what you do see left will be, it'll all turn brown and just wither away over the next couple of days. I've already started digging some of them, and as you've seen how I mowed them, this actually has been sitting now for a couple of days, just kind of worked out that way. So it's given some time for everything to dry off, and it makes it a little easier yet to dig. So how I've been digging them is, I don't know, some people can go like this way and work their way back. I find I hit a lot of potatoes when I do that. So I just come in from the side, and you can see some of them sticking out of the ground, unfortunately. And as you're digging them up, you know, you're going to get some pretty good looking potatoes. And it's been said too that the green, don't ever eat the green. Apparently it's poisonous. So when you're cooking them, just cut it off. Like, you can eat the rest of it. That's just the way it turns out. And what does that is if the sun gets at them. This garden was so overgrown with tops that I couldn't even get the tiller into it anymore. So, but you know, we'll save some if they're really green. We'll just save them for seed. And I got some pretty good size so far. Our whites seem to do pretty good. And I might find some bigger ones yet. If I do, I'll show you. And sometimes too, these really big ones can be hollow inside too, and that's caused, I think, by them growing so quickly.
Over mature.
Yeah, over mature. Yeah, I guess that's it.
No bee. It's okay.
Okay, so far this is our biggest one. What we're doing is we're setting it down until we find one bigger, and then we'll get the biggest potato on the farm. So they're coming along not too bad. I don't think I'm getting quite the yield that I did last year. It was a really dry year this year. Well, first we had too much rain, and then not enough, so we're just hoping for the best. And what we do is little kitties just come along and pick them up, put them in their buckets, like that, and then they carry them over. Okay, there's a bug in her bucket, so I'll have to fix this problem because we can't have a bug in the bucket. There we are. Yeah, that's all they do. And then they just take them over to Mom, and Mommy does the sorting. Normally we haven't sorted them in the past, but this year we're doing it because what we found is we had too many bags of potatoes upstairs all the time. We would be sorting them as we went. And then these ones here are going to be for our seed, and what she's throwing in here are the ones that are smaller for seed, and anything with too much green on it or any other deficiencies. And that's how we're doing that. How you making out there, you? Good? Found any bugs in here? What kind of bugs did we find in the other ones?
We found like grubs and a lot of ants.
And a lot of ants.
Yeah, but in this garden there's usually a ton of crickets.
Crickets,
you can see a lot of them hopping around.
But there's no ants in this one, is there?
No. Not as many.
And not any grubs actually. I haven't seen any grubs yet. You know why? Because that up there was a new garden, okay, where there was what they call sod or grass. This one here's been a garden for almost, this is 5 years now. Okay, so having worked at numerous jobs in my time, one of them was a feed mill, and there's a special kind of knot they use, and the old style of feed mills anyways, when you're doing grain, that you want to tie and untie a bag very quickly. And you use old baler twine, like from square bales. Some will have a knot, some don't. If they have a knot, it works well. You can put it between your pinky finger and hold on to it. And if they don't, you just take it and wrap it around once, and does the same thing. And what we put our potatoes in are, you could use burlap sacks. They're probably even better. We don't use them up here really. We don't have many, so I just use these white feed bags that I've been accumulating over the years. And we would just take it and bunch it up. Of course, this one's pretty full, but and once you've got your bunch like that, you take your string and you throw it around underneath your hand once, like that, and you give it a good tighten. Now, I would normally put it around my finger and tie it on the first, but because these are going to be stored and I'll be lifting them, I'm going to put 2 circles around. I'm going to do 2 of them, okay? And then you put it around, I hope you can see this, around this finger right here, like this, under your thumb, around one more time underneath, and then as you brought it up, you loop it through and pull it and tighten it, like that. And the purpose is, so now I've wrapped that twice, might not come up as easy, is when you're working the feed mill, you can pull it up really quickly for unloading and loading the bags, and it's also pretty quick to tighten too, rather than actually doing like a shoelace type knot on it. So, and they're a good tough knot too, so it makes it easier. So there you go. That's how we are going to harvest our potatoes. So we're going to plan on about 2 rows a day. So we should have them done by the end of the week. That'll be good. All done. Then I'm going to have to save up and buy a new hat.